Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're going to be doing a get ready with me, and we're also going to be talking about a subject that is very, very hard for me to talk about, anxiety and panic attacks. I'm going to be as transparent as possible with this subject. I'm going to be the first to admit it is very embarrassing to talk about, very, very embarrassing to admit to having. So making this video, I hope I'm able to make it more comfortable for others to come out and talk about it as well. So if you're interested in this video, just keep on watching. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be getting ready for my day, and I'm going to be doing my makeup, and I'm also going to be doing my hair, but I won't be doing my hair on camera, just my makeup. Everything I'm using is going to be in the description box below if anybody is interested to know what I'm using. Let's get into this video. So my anxiety started when I was around like 11, 12 years old, when I lost my grandmother. I was very close to my grandmother. She was like a second mom to me and my siblings. So losing her was like a really traumatic experience for me. And so then I ended up getting pregnant at 15 years old, and that in itself brought on some stress. And also the person I was with also brought on stress. So I did go through, some traumatic experiences from around 14, 15 years old till I was 18 years old. So from that point on, over the years, just going through those different things had gradually caused my anxiety to get worse. Now, over the past year and a half, my anxiety has really, really, really gotten worse, like through the roof. Like, I don't know, I guess it might have to do with like COVID and everything, but it has definitely taken a toll on me, like I said, over the past year and a half. Now, how I know when my anxiety is coming on, my heart will start beating like so fast, and so hard. Like if I look down at my chest, I can like see my heart beating. And I'll get like shortness of breath. I'll get sweaty palms. Like I'll get numbness in my tongue and in my like arms. And I'll have like chest pain and like a sudden fear of like death, like that I'm gonna die. My anxiety is more than just like getting nervous in situations. I'll make a situation stressful because of my anxiety. I become overwhelmed, start freaking out, and like can't control my breathing, and it gets really scary. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I'm really, really trying to do this and do my makeup at the same time. Like this is actually really, really hard. But anyway, so like my anxiety has gotten so bad at some points, like I've actually called the ambulance several times while having an anxiety attack, because I don't know, like I really thought I was dying or like having a heart attack. Like I really, really thought, yeah, that's so much better. Yeah, I really thought like that I was dying, but it was just, a panic attack. And when I got there, it would be so frustrating because I'd be like, oh, you just had a panic attack. And it's like, and you'd be so embarrassed, and you just be like, when it happens again, I'm not even gonna come back. That's how you're feeling. It's almost like it has completely like taken over my life. Like it's hard to deal with, especially when you have people around you that don't really understand what it's like to have anxiety. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't have it. So like, or doesn't know anybody or been around anybody who has had it. Like it's hard to explain to them like about having it. And like sometimes just the thought of having a panic attack will bring on a panic attack. I hate that, especially like when I am driving or I'm in a social setting, like out eating with friends or having some drinks at the bar. All of a sudden, like, you'll feel it coming on. It really sucks because you just can't be in that moment with everybody. It's like everybody else is like enjoying themselves around you and you're over there feeling like you're about to die. Like that is the worst feeling ever. Like I don't want to freak. I don't want to freak my friends out or anybody else around me. I don't want to freak them out, or I don't want them to think like I'm losing it or like I'm going crazy. So I try my best to hold it together till I leave, or I'll find a reason, or I try to find a reason to leave so that I don't freak everybody out. I've had to actually like pull over while driving because I was going into a panic attack. Things like trying to get somewhere on time and like something is slowing me up, or just like people around me driving reckless. People driving around me reckless will also like cause me to get nervous, and I'll go into a panic attack because I have been in probably about 7 or 8 like wrecks, but they haven't been like fatal, but I've still like been hit like 7, 8 times, and never wasn't my fault. Like never wasn't my fault. It was always somebody who wasn't paying attention, or somebody who was on their phone, admittedly on their phone and just not paying attention, and they'll hit me. And like what, I'm just afraid that one day it's not gonna be just like they just bump me. Like it could end up being like so much worse. And now at this age, I've learned when I drink or when I have too much caffeine, like it'll trigger my anxiety. Like, and it's silly, but I was having a lot of acid reflux, like a lot of acid reflux. And whenever I would have it, like I would start to get anxiety. And so I searched it, and lo and behold, they said that acid reflux can cause anxiety. And I thought that was just like the silliest thing, but like, yeah, like it's a thing. Like it really is, it's a thing. So like the more I know what triggers my anxiety, the more I can like control when I'm having anxiety. And like those things I would try not to do as much, like drinking. I'll have maybe one drink just so my anxiety isn't like triggered. I try to keep my caffeine intake really, really low so that I don't get too anxious and my anxiety peaks. Like a lot of times when I go into my panic attacks, like I have to give myself like pep talks, like, you're okay, you're gonna be okay, you know, you're strong, like nothing's happening, nothing's bothering you, like you're gonna be okay. And that really, really, really seems to help. My anxiety has literally turned me into an introvert. Like I don't really like to go anywhere anymore. I don't really like to do anything anymore, because if I'm out and about, like my anxiety is going to cause me to not even want to be where I'm at. Like, and that's just like the reality of it. I used to be a really, really outgoing person. Like I used to love being out and about and like having fun with friends. And my anxiety has turned me into a straight introvert. Like I don't like being out in social settings because I don't want to freak myself out, and I don't want to freak anybody else out. So I'd rather not even be out in these streets looking crazy. I'd rather just be at home, because I used to be the life of the party. Like I used to be the one out in the club in the middle of the dance floor, like having a good old time. And like, that's not me anymore. Like I don't do that stuff anymore. And you know, unfortunately, my husband doesn't get to see that side of me, because when he met me was when my anxiety had already like took control or started to take control. Like now I am the person who likes to be in like small settings with people. I don't like to be in real big groups. And I'm more comfortable with people that I already know. Of course, I would love to go out here and make friends, but when I'm comfortable with who I'm around, like it does help me not to my anxiety not to peak as much. And another thing that I have learned with my anxiety, like I used to love going to concerts. I used to love being in crowds. And like I still do. I still love a good concert, but crowds now cause me to get anxiety because I developed claustrophobia, which is so weird because I don't even remember having claustrophobia when I was younger. Like, it's so weird, but I developed like claustrophobia, and I don't like to be in crowds as much anymore, if at all. Like, it's just ongoing, like, and it makes life like suck. Like, you really just want to enjoy life like everybody else, and it's like you can't because your anxiety will peak, and it sucks so bad. Now, I was beginning to think that I was just like so different because I just felt so alone. Like, I wasn't really around anybody, and I really didn't see anybody else who was dealing with anxiety like me. Like, I haven't been around anybody, and so it makes me feel like I'm crazy or like I'm losing myself, and that really sucks when you're just trying to like live a normal life and just be normal, but like you can't. It's like you want to be out here and you want to socialize with everybody else, and you're not able to because of your anxiety. Now, my social anxiety is really bad, like, because the whole time I'm in a group setting or something, I can enjoy the people around me or what we're doing because the whole time I'm thinking all these crazy things, like, what are all these people around me thinking about me? If I'm saying the right things, if I'm doing the right things, do I look awkward? Am I acting weird? Am I talking weird? Am I talking too much? Am I not talking enough? Like, it's so ridiculous the way my mind works and like the way it plays tricks on me when I'm trying to just be in a group setting with everybody and just enjoy being out and socializing. Like, my husband is the only person really who knows just how bad my anxiety is. Like, my family don't really know how bad my anxiety like really is. Like, they know that I've had some attacks like at my parents' house and stuff, but they just don't know like the depths of my anxiety. Like, they don't know how deep it runs. Like, for example, I was visiting my husband's family with him in Connecticut, and while we were up there, his family likes to gather, and a lot of people like to come around and like they eat and play cards and like just enjoy each other's company. And I'm not used to that. Like I said, because of my anxiety and stuff, and just because like my family, we really don't get up and do those kind of things. Like, we don't have too many like family gatherings and stuff like that. So I enjoyed my time with them. Like, the first night or two, I was down there playing cards with everybody and drinking with everybody. And like by the third night, like, I was over it. And so I made sure that I spoke to everybody, but then I went upstairs and I kind of was just off to myself. And a lot of people in his family felt really, really offended, and they just didn't know, like, that's just not how I am. Like, I can enjoy people for so long, but then after a while, like, it just becomes too much and I just can't do it anymore. So they were like really, really offended that I didn't like come out and hang with them that third night, but I just didn't have it in me. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I don't ever want anybody to feel like I don't want to enjoy people's company, or like I don't want to be in settings and stuff, because I do. Like, I love playing cards and I love hanging around, like hanging out and drinking and socializing if I wasn't so awkward doing it, or if it didn't like affect me so much. to do it. Like, I wouldn't mind doing it because I enjoy it. Like, and my husband knows, like, how much it affects me because I've cried to him about it. Like, I've cried to him about just wanting to be normal, just wanting to be able to be in a setting and not feel weird, or like I'm being weird, or like everybody around me is like looking at me or thinking something about me because maybe I'm talking weird, or maybe I'm just looking like something is wrong. Like, I hate that, and it bothers me, and it's just hard when you have people around who just don't understand it. It makes it so hard. So I've learned with me that it's good to just have somebody to call when I know that I have a panic attack coming on, or like if a panic attack is like setting in, to have somebody to call is like really, really good, because there's been situations where I've called my husband, I've called my mom, my sister, and you know, my husband would know what was going on, but like my mom or my sister didn't know. Like, they really didn't know. So I would just talk to them like normal. My husband would try to calm me down because he knew, but like my sister didn't know, my mom didn't know. So it was good to talk to them because they would just be talking about other stuff, and it wouldn't have anything to do with my anxiety. So it would be like, it would be fine. Like, I would be able to get through, get through the panic attack because they wouldn't be talking about it. They would be, normally most of the time, my mom is silly, and a lot of times she's like out and about driving and stuff like that. So she's fussing at people, and it's funny. So I'll go from thinking about my anxiety to like laughing with her, and she don't even know like that I was just having a full-blown panic attack, and how much like she helped with that. But after doing some research on anxiety, I did learn that it is hereditary. And I know that my mom, she actually deals with it. And I did learn that my brother as well, my oldest brother, he deals with anxiety as well. So that did kind of make me feel better that I'm not alone. But I didn't never really go to anybody in my family about it, because whenever my family looks at me, I'm always like the strong one in the family. Like, they hardly see me cry. They hardly see like me, like I show emotion like love and stuff like that. But as far as like anything that I'm dealing with, I'm the type to like really hide those feelings. And so, and maybe that's not a good thing, but I like to be considered like the strong person, strong sister, the strong daughter, and in the family. It just makes me feel good. Now, my friends, they slightly know about my anxiety. I don't think they know how bad it can get, but I've definitely expressed to my friends about my anxiety, and like how I do have it, but I haven't really expressed like going into like full-blown panic attacks or anything like that. And it's not that I feel like they're gonna judge me, but you just try not to dump, or at least I'm that friend, and that's another part of my anxiety, I think, is just feeling like you don't want to dump all your problems on people. Like, you don't want people to feel like you're always the person who has issues, and you don't want to dump everything on your friends. I'm just that type of person. Like I said, I don't know if that has anything to do with my anxiety. I think it does. Just not wanting to be that friend that just constantly just calling you with drama all the time. And not really drama, but just like, oh, I'm going through this and I'm feeling like this. And I just don't want to be that friend. Even though I know my friends will be okay with me being that friend, I don't want to be that friend. So like, I've done a really good job at hiding just like how bad my anxiety really is from like I said, my family and my friends. And it's not in a, it's just in a way of just trying to not have to dump stuff on on other people. Like, I don't want to dump my problems on other people. And I know people will say, well, that's what family is for. That's what friends are for. But, you know, I've been that friend before where I had the friend coming to me and constantly going through things, and like, you take on that energy sometimes. Sometimes you would take on that energy, and I don't want to be that person giving that negative energy into anybody else's life, especially like people got their own stuff going on, and I don't want to be that person. Now, one thing I do want to make very clear is that I did not I didn't self-diagnose myself. I actually did go to a doctor, and he diagnosed me with anxiety, and he wanted to prescribe medication, and I didn't want to go that route. Not that medication is bad at all, especially anxiety medication. I don't feel like it's bad, but I just wanted to think of a more natural way of dealing with my anxiety. I didn't want to have to depend on any medication. I wanted to find natural ways to feel better, to make myself better. So, because at a time when medication isn't there, like, what would I do? So that's why I didn't want to just jump right in taking medication. I wanted to try different things to see if they worked that were in a more natural way. Like I'm gonna continue to try to work through it. You know, if push comes to shove and I feel like I need medication, then I definitely will do that. Like, if it just comes to a point where it's just like, I can't do this, I need medication, which at some points it has come to that, like it has, but I still was like, I'm just going to fight this. I'm going to get through this. Like, I'm not going to jump. Gonna jump and get the medication, even though I feel like sometimes I really do need to. Because at the end of the day, like, it is so draining. Like, it is, people who know it, who have it, they know it. Like, it's so draining. And so you'll be trying to think of all these different ways to, like, if I can get on medication, I want medication. It will make you that way. But, I've had my husband there and to help me through it. And even though he still has a hard time understanding it, he is still trying to help me through it, like doing the best he can to help me through it. And I appreciate him so much for that, because I just don't know where I would be. Like, he really doesn't know how much he's helped me. And sometimes he feels defeated because he's just like, I'm doing all I can. And I'm like, no, but you're doing fine, because I'm feeling good. Like, I'm feeling better. And I just want him to know that he has helped me a lot. And it's good to have somebody around you who, they may not understand it all, but to just help you through it and to just be there. I haven't figured it all out, but I'm trying. I'm constantly trying to figure out my own ways of coping with it without reaching out for medication, or, just like the ways that I found that work for me is like controlling my breathing when I feel it coming on, relaxing, counting has worked for me. Turning on like my favorite movie, turning on my favorite show, listening to my favorite song or my favorite artist, stepping outside for, fresh air, calling somebody, like I mentioned earlier, has really helped me too. All these things have helped at different times during my panic attacks, my anxiety attacks. But one thing I did tell myself was that I am going to seek some type of therapy or some type of counseling to help treat, because anxiety is treatable, like it can be treated. So I was going to look into some therapist or some psychologist to go see to, treat it, because who wants to live with something like this for the rest of their life? Like, I don't. So at some point, I'm going to go see a therapist and get it treated. Like, I'm making it day by day. And I feel like I've made some really good progress with my anxiety. Like, especially knowing where I've come from to now. Like, I really feel like I've made some really good progress. And I'm going to be able to look back and know that I was able to help somebody, or at least, you know, make it aware to people about it. And, you know, I feel good about that. You know, it's good to let people know that they're not alone. So hopefully this video can be a help to somebody, so, you know, they don't feel alone in this, or they don't feel like how I was feeling like I'm the only one dealing with this, or dealing with it at the rate that I'm dealing with it. You know, it's good to know that there's other people out there, and you'll be able to get through it. Like, you'll be able to look back one day and realize, like, I made it. Like, I don't have to deal with this anymore. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And you'll feel good. You'll feel really good about yourself. I can't wait till the day that I'm mentally stronger and able to just live life. Like, just to live life would mean everything to me. This is my finished look. I went and did my hair, and I put on a little bit of jewelry, and I changed my outfit. I hope I was able to shed some light and even encourage some of you guys who are dealing with anxiety and the panic attacks. Please don't forget to comment down below with any of your thoughts or any suggestions. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.